Hello everybody, welcome back to Pixie Woo. Today's video I've got for you is on my friend Jen, who's come from London to be our model today. She has got brown eyes, so I'm going to use the Smashbox palette that I promised you. So yeah, let's get started. Right, I'm going to start off by using a little bit of moisturiser, and I've got Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturising Lotion. I only want a light lotion, and I'm going to use my fingers to work that in to Jen's skin. Now Jen's skin looks a little bit red at the moment as well because it is so hot in here, isn't it?
Yeah.
As I say to everyone, it's just so warm. So let the moisturiser work into the skin. I'm then going to go over the top with a little bit of pore refining solution, just because Jen's got slight open pores, which are your concern, aren't they?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to run it just over the T-zone very slightly. And this is the one that you use, isn't it?
Yeah.
And what this does is it basically sits in the pores to smooth them out and stops your makeup from sitting in them so much. It's also, by doing that, going to stop too much dirt getting into the pores, so should hopefully stop you getting so many breakouts. Okay, I'm then going to go on to foundation, and I am going to use Nars Santa Fe foundation. I love this one, and you've wanted to try it, haven't you? So we're going to see. Let's see if the colour's okay. It's got a slightly more of a yellow undertone to it, the foundation, which is perfect for Jen. She's got quite a bit of high colour on her cheeks at the moment, but if you look at her neck, it's got slightly more of a yellow undertone, so we want to bring that out. Otherwise, when the cheeks calm down, then you're going to look like you've got a really pinky foundation on, which you said happens quite a lot. That's a perfect colour for you. Now from Jen's skin also, I can see that she doesn't need too much coverage. She's got just a little bit of high colouring, which can be blanked out with the foundation, but she hardly needs any coverage at all. And this does the job really nicely, sits lightly. I'm then going to take a little bit of MAC Moisture Cover. This one is in NC 30. And pop it on the back of my hand. I'm just going to run that around the nose slightly. And a little bit under the eyes. And then I'm going to leave the skin and let the foundation do its own thing. Hopefully it will cool down in here in a minute. I'm next going to move on to my palette. You can see that. This one is Smashbox Brown Eyes. Now, actually, first of all, I'm going to apply a little bit of Nars Pro Prime Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. I'm going to pop that on the back of my hand. I'm going to work that into my finger. And then I'm going to go in with the palette, and I'm going to use these three colours here. Might add a little bit of the darker brown. I'm going to start off with these three here. Don't think they have names. I think you have to buy the whole palette. So I'm going to start off with the base colour. I'm going to run that right the way over the lid. So that's going to hold everything into place, and it's also there to help the products blend a little nicer. So base all the way over. I'm then going to take the slightly pinkish warm brown and just run that right the way over the lid. Close for me, so that's going to go right over the lid. So this is all done with the MAC 217. I'm then going to swap and take a MAC 239 and the darkest purpley brown, I suppose it is. The reason I swap brushes is because I want to just, if you close for me, take this from the root and pull upwards. Now this is going to be built on quite a lot, so I'm going to keep coming back to the same bit a few times. I'm going to take my 217 and blend as I go. I'm then going to get my palette that I'm using for the brows, and I'm going to use the darkest colour in here, which is Mystery. It's a slightly warmer one. I have got in here Omega, Charcoal Brown, Mystery and Brun. Loads of people have asked me those. I'm going to use a little bit of Mystery and a MAC 263 angle brush. Can you close for me? I'm going to just run that really close on the lash line. I don't want to go black, so I'm going to go really dark brown. So you can see with the shape of Jen's eyes, I'm just blending it outwards slightly, but then keeping it very soft, so it's not just a harsh sudden stop of product, so it keeps blending it. I've also got an Avon gel liner. This one is in blackberry, and I'm going to run that along the lash line as well. Just close, lovely. Just that little bit darker, because I can see we can get away with a teensy bit more. And I'm going to use the same MAC angled brush to blend that upwards. Now this Avon Supershock liner you have to work quite quickly with because it does set. Right, a bit more of the Avon Supershock in blackberry. I'm going to go back in with my Mystery again, but I'm just going to pop it in the very corner. Just close for me. Just want to get that right in there. Just going to be a teensy bit darker there. Yeah, that's better. Right, I've got a brand new Avon mascara. This one is extra lasting. Let's pop some of that on there. Just look down for me. You can keep this mascara as I've used it on you. I just hate those wands. Now I'm going to run the darker of the purpley browns. Can you just lift up for me? Just literally a quarter of the way along, just to make it a little bit smoky. Quarter of the way along under the eye. And I'm going to take a little bit of Chromagraphic pencil from MAC. This one's NW25 to NC30. And I'm also going to run that inside the eye. Are you comfortable with anyone inside? Just look right up for me. Just a very small amount, rather than go too dark inside the eye. I thought I'd go light. And then back in with the mascara. We'll do, if you look up for me, do the bottom ones. Now for the brows, back to my palette, I am going to use a little bit of Brun on the brows. It's got no red in it. I think Mystery would have a little bit too much warmth with it. So I'm just going to take a MAC 266 and softly blend upwards. Sleep on this side.
A bit.
Yeah, the brows
really?
Slightly go different ways, same as mine. Normally the side that you sleep on. I'm going to take a little bit of Studio Finish Concealer. This one's in NW20. I'm going to pop it on the back of my hand and then use a really fine Real Techniques brush just to run it softly through the brows. I've gone for an NW because I want it to be slightly pinky rather than the rest of the slightly more yellow tone we've gone for. And the pinky will keep it in tone with the eyeshadow pinkiness. Just lifts the brows very slightly. Now, eyelashes, I'm going to use a pair of MAC 31s. They're not too full on because I just want something quite natural, but just to give you a bit fuller lashes. Right, leave the glue for a few seconds and just let it down for me. Right, I'm going to go back into the skin with the concealer and touch up any areas that need a little bit more coverage. Just a tiny bit under the eyes to clean away any fall down that we may have got. And I then want to set all that into place. So I've got Chanel Loose Powder in 20. So I'm going to push that into the skin so it's not to move any of the foundation or makeup that we've already put in place. I'm then going to take a little bit of MAC Harmony and the same brush that I used before, which is a multitask brush. I'm going to pop that just through the back of the cheekbones, really blend it. I'm just going to swap brush for a base eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to run a tiny bit of it just through the nose here. And a tiny bit just through the socket bone. It's a little bit warm, it will just lift the eyeshadow a teensy bit. And then lastly for the lip, I am going to use a little bit of No7 lip pencil in 20 Nude. I'm going to take that right the way over the lip. And then over the top of that I have got a Smashbox lip gloss in Overexposed. not going to put any colour on Jen's cheeks because she's already got a natural blush, which is lovely and it shows through. So I'm going to just apply a tiny bit more mascara and I think we're pretty much done. Please close for me. And there you have the finished look. Hope you've enjoyed that and have a lovely day. Bye bye.